There's a lot of talk going on right now regarding the main event of WrestleMania Night 1, so we'll see what's being said there. We'll also take a look at some theories for Sami Zayn. Let's start things off with another look at Sami Zayn's immediate future with the Bloodline. So at the Royal Rumble, Sami Zayn did the unthinkable and turned his back on Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. For the longest time, everyone thought it would be Roman Reigns and the Bloodline who would strike first and dispose Sami Zayn whenever they felt like it. But Kevin Owens and everyone else around Sami Zayn was advising him to strike first on the Bloodline before they strike on him. So it obviously looks like Sami Zayn took that advice into consideration, and that's what helped him make big decisions at the Royal Rumble. He had enough and took his actions into his own hands by striking Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn most definitely paid for what he did moments later, but the fact that he still did it spoke volumes. Just look at how conflicted that moment made Jey Uso. It spoke to him so much that he had to get out of there. Sami Zayn started instantly feuding with Roman Reigns after the Royal Rumble, but who's been quietly missing from the story so far has been Kevin Owens. Kevin was last seen during the handcuff beatdown at the Royal Rumble. Kevin Owens was having issues with Sami Zayn due to how Sami continuously took the Bloodline side. But after Kevin Owens watched the tape back for Royal Rumble and he saw what Sami Zayn did, he most definitely is on good terms again with Sami Zayn. So how will Kevin Owens' return play out? Well, considering he's been missing for a few weeks, tells us that he's most definitely getting a big return moment. And last time we saw Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the ring together, Sami was betraying the Bloodline in order to protect Kevin Owens. So, knowing that Sami did that for him in such a big moment back at the Royal Rumble, it's definitely a possibility for Kevin Owens to run out and save Sami Zayn from the Bloodline this time around. And this theory of Kevin Owens coming out to save Sami Zayn could be connected with the other theory of Jey Uso turning his back on Sami Zayn. Sami knows that Roman, Jimmy, and Solo are completely against him, but Sami Zayn has been under the belief that he still at least has Jey Uso by his side. And we previously talked about how they could be setting us all up for another heartbreaking moment for when Jey fully takes out Sami Zayn and ends his friendship with Sami in order to buy himself more time and get on Roman's good side again. So that's another popular theory, that Jey Uso will betray Sami Zayn in order to be back in good graces of the family. So if something like that happens where Sami has now even lost Jey's support and the entire Bloodline is taking him out, that seems like the perfect opportunity to see Kevin Owens make his grand return at. Kevin Owens saved Sami Zayn, but then their business definitely is not done there. Sami and Kevin may have both been unable to dethrone Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship, but now that Sami and Kevin are back on the same page, they can now contend for the undisputed tag team titles that still belong to the Usos. It's the best shot that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have to get back at Roman Reigns and the Bloodline for the months of torture that they have put Sami and Kevin both through. That will now lead towards Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos for the undisputed tag team titles, most likely during Night 1 of WrestleMania 39. And here's where the big question mark is at regarding the main event of Night 1. Night 2's main event is obviously Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. The WWE World title will always be the main event of Night 2, that goes without saying. It's Night 1 main event that WWE tends to play around with and put different matches in that spot. The main event of WrestleMania 36 Night 1 was the cinematic match between The Undertaker and AJ Styles. The main event of WrestleMania 37 Night 1 was Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. And then the main event of WrestleMania 38 Night 1 was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens. So looking back at the history of Night 1 WrestleMania events, it has been a variety of all sorts of matches. So the question with WrestleMania 39's Night 1 main event is, who will it go to? You have Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair, which is a match that is very worthy of main eventing Night 1. But you can potentially have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos, which is also highly capable of main eventing Night 1 of WrestleMania. The Usos are the longest reigning tag team champions of all time. If this is the match where their title reign is going to end, it'll feel even more special seeing that moment go down in the main event of WrestleMania Night 1. So it's going to be a big battle between those two matchups for who will close Night 1. But back to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens' story. It's a perfect reunion, and it has a possibility to have a storybook fairy tale ending. These two long-term best friends put their recent issues with each other behind them. They get back together, and then they try to accomplish their like-minded goal of knocking down the Bloodline. Kevin and Sami weren't able to cut the head off the snake with Roman Reigns, but potentially dethroning the Usos will still take out a majority of the snake's body. If Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens dethrone the Usos, and if Roman Reigns loses the world titles as well, that's a reality that none of the Bloodline members want to be a part of. If you think Roman Reigns has been brutal over the last few years, when everything has been mostly great and they've been covered in gold, what's going to happen when all their gold gets taken from them in the span of 2 days, at the grandest stage of the year? Roman Reigns is probably going to flip out and have an episode like we've never seen before. Maybe Roman Reigns and the Usos will go through a real rough patch there immediately after WrestleMania, but maybe they regroup and look forward to their title rematches. But once they're unsuccessful in regaining those titles, maybe that's when we fully enter the Bloodline's Civil War arc. Obviously, it looks like Roman and Jey will be the two sides to pick from here. So Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy Uso will have to decide which side they're on. The obvious route is for Jimmy Uso to stick with Jey Uso, and maybe Solo Sikoa does stay with Roman Reigns. Solo's direct orders from the elders was to stick by Roman's side and defend him. So you can't really fault Solo Sikoa if he still wants to stick to the family orders, even throughout the entire Bloodline Civil War. And the Civil War route would be such a great route to go in for the Bloodline because you can mix and match a whole bunch of different possibilities. They could have the Usos versus Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. They could have a brother versus brother match between Solo Sikoa and one of the Usos. We can get that sequel to Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso and just so much more. A whole Civil War arc could be stretched out for months, and the grand finale could be something like Jey Uso finally getting the pinfall victory over Roman Reigns. Maybe that leads towards a little hiatus for Roman Reigns, and it'll leave Jey Uso with all the momentum to carry on until Roman Reigns eventually comes back in some fashion. So there's a lot of story to be told with the Bloodline even long after the titles are no longer in the picture. So it's going to be great to see how that all turns out. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.